Hello! Today we're going to be unpacking a really challenging topic in Spanish, the distinctions between por and para. I trust that if you're learning this skill today, you are in at least Spanish 3, if not higher, because this is a really tricky one. You've probably heard several examples of por over the years, like por la mañana, por la tarde, por la noche, and you've probably heard para in like para mí, para ti, but we really need to unpack the differences. I'm going to keep these notes brief, so I'm going to encourage you to pause anytime you need to write something down. All right, let's start with our big idea. La idea grande. If you look them up in the dictionary will say that both por and para mean for. But there are actually many distinctions and other translations for each of them. Lots more for por than there are for para. I'm going to go through each one and I'm going to have you choose a sample sentence to write in for each one. I will show you 2 to 3 samples, but you can just pick one to write in. All right. The first use of para is the phrase in order to. This is probably the most common way to use para. It's always before an infinitive verb in this case. Okay, so yo estudio para hablar bien. I study in order to speak well. Para ser médico necesitas doctorado. In order to be a doctor, you need a doctorate. Para llegar a mi casa, maneja a la derecha. In order to arrive at my house, to get to my house, drive to the right. So you'll have para, but for an infinitive, that'll mean in order to. Another one is that para can mean about to, normally after the verb estar. So yo estoy para salir. I'm about to go. I'm about to leave. Ella está para vomitar. She's about to throw up. Está para llover. It's about to rain. One that you've probably heard before is that para is used as a point of view. Para mí, español es muy fácil. Para ella, el fútbol americano es aburrido. Para nosotros, el almuerzo es muy importante. A more creative use of para is that it can be for a destination. This is normally after a verb like ir or salir. And I like to think of it as we might say, I'm headed for, like we're headed for Vegas. So you could say, for example, yo voy para la escuela a las 6, or nosotros vamos para California. Another use of para is to make a comparison to a group, and this is probably the hardest use of para. It's normally based on a stereotype. So it'd be something like, para estudiante habla muy bien. For a student, he or she speaks really well. Or para chica, ella es fuerte. For a girl, she's really strong. Or para chico, él es muy bajo. For a boy, he's really short. The next one is a purpose of an object or action. So, este plato es para la sopa. This dish is for your soup. Or este tenedor es para la ensalada. This fork is for the salad. Yo practico para el fútbol. I practice for soccer. Or tenemos la práctica para béisbol hoy. We have baseball practice. What kind of practice? It's the practice for baseball today. Number 7, a recipient of a gift. So on a gift tag, it would say para for to. Yo tengo un regalo para ti. I have a gift for you. Oh, es para mí? Gracias. It's for me? Thank you. Hay mucha tarea para ustedes. There's so much homework for you all. Speaking of homework, we use para also to do due dates, pointing to a future point in time. So, esta tarea es para el viernes. This homework is for Friday. Necesitamos terminar todo para el lunes. We need to finish everything for Monday. Or debes hacerlo para mañana. You should do it for tomorrow. All right, those are all uses of para. Next, we're going to unpack the uses of por. One of the most common ones is the word by. First, as the word for authorship, the means by which something is created. So, este libro es por J.K. Rowling, or la canción fue escrita por Maná. So it's by this person, written by this person, sung by this person, would be por. Por also means by, as in close to. It can replace the term cerca de, close to. So, mi casa está por el parque. My house is by the park. Or, la práctica está por el campo. The practice is over by the field. Next, we have by meaning transportation. So, all interpretations of the word by can be por. So, the means by which something is done, like voy a escuela por bus, or necesitamos viajar por avión, would be por. Por also means through. So you can say things like, vamos a pasar por el centro. We're going to pass through downtown. El agua pasa por el tubo. The water passes through the tube. Ella va por unos tiempos difíciles. She's going through some difficult times. So it could be physically going through, mentally going through, emotionally going through. Next, por can also mean in favor of, like yo voté por el candidato correcto. I know I voted for the right candidate. Mis opiniones son por el matrimonio. My opinions are in favor of marriage in this case. ¿Estás por o contra esta resolución? Are you for or against this resolution? Por can also mean on behalf of. I like to picture someone accepting an Oscar or a Grammy for someone who couldn't be there. So on behalf of, in their place. Like, yo estoy aquí por mi madre, por mi padre, porque él está enfermo. Or yo sé que tú estás muy ocupado, yo puedo ir por ti. I could go for you, I know that you're really busy. Or por todos nosotros quiero decirte gracias. On behalf of all of us, I want to say thank you. We can also use por to mean in search of. It's normally after the verb ir. I like to think of someone saying, go for a doctor. That kind of in search of is por. Yo voy por el médico. I'm going for a doctor. Or nosotros vamos por unos zapatos nuevos. We're going for some new shoes. An easy one, por means per, as in miles per hour, miles per gallon, things like that. So el carro va 100 millas por hora. Lleva 12 galones de gasolina por tanque. It gets 12 gallons of gasoline per tank. Or yo puedo escribir 60 problemas por minuto. I can write 60 words per minute. We also use one of the most common ones. Por is for a period of time. So, estoy de vacaciones por una semana. I'm on vacation for a week. Estudié por 3 horas anoche. I studied for 3 hours last night. Ellos han sido novios por muchos años. They've been friends for many years. This is also in the category of why we say por la mañana, por la tarde, por la noche, like during that period of time. We can also use por to give a motive. This one's kind of tricky to isolate, and I really like to think of whenever somebody goes on a reality TV show like The Bachelor, there's a lot of speculation. Are you doing this for fame? Are you doing it for money? Or are you doing it for love? That's your motive. Por, and then a noun. So some examples. Ellos se casaron por dinero, no por amor. They got married for money, not for love. Or ella está en The Bachelor por fama, no por amor sincero. She's on The Bachelor for fame, not for sincere love. Or yo mudé a una ciudad nueva por trabajo. I moved to a new city for work. We can also use por to talk about an exchange or a price, which really is what per means, right? It's also an exchange. Te doy $1 por tu ayuda. I'll give you $1 for your help. ¿Quieres esta manzana por esa naranja? Do you want this apple for that orange? Or yo compré los zapatos por $100. I bought the shoes for $100. And finally, por is used in math for the letter x, meaning multiplied by or dimensions. So 3 times 5 equals 15 would be said 3 por 5 son 15. And if it's 4 by 4 inches, that would be 4 por 4 pulgadas.